Good evening. Hi, and welcome. Welcome to 90 Days Through the Word. My name is Sonia McCullough Lockridge, and I love to come to you in this fashion. A joy to come to you in this fashion. Anyhow, I said the other day that I was going to share a few things about myself. Number one, my favorite color is yellow, like in a post-it note, that yellow. And number two, my favorite kind of food is Mexican. Our reading today finds us in Proverbs 20:22 through Ecclesiastes 2:26. Now, the word that jumped out to me in our Proverbs reading today was the word sluggard. Sluggard. And that word and drunkard were mentioned over and over again, an abundance of time. I just recognized that those two words jumped out at me. Now, moving on to the book of Ecclesiastes. I've read it before, but the first part of Ecclesiastes today is hitting a little different, and maybe it's because of the cultural times that we're in, but Solomon's view of not finding happiness, no matter how much money, how many sheep, how many concubines, how many of everything that he had, is hitting a little different today. And it's hitting a little different in the ESV version of the text, because I've not read through the ESV version of the text before. Now, Ecclesiastes means teacher. The word Ecclesiastes means teacher. And of course, the writer of Ecclesiastes is Solomon. Additionally, that word means teacher in the Greek. So I would have to look it up to figure out what it means in the Hebrew. But in the Greek, it means teacher. Now, the author, Solomon, has had a life full of pleasure, wealth, power, and prestige, yet he still seeks happiness. He still seeks happiness. This book, Ecclesiastes, was written in Jerusalem probably toward the end of King Solomon's life. And it's really, really interesting that it just hits differently today with everything that our country, America, is going through. And some key words for this book are meaningless, labor, empty, hopeless, and once again, meaningless. So King Solomon is at the end of his life. And although he's had all of these things, the one thing he doesn't have is happiness. The one thing he doesn't have is happiness. And it also says here in the text that earthly goals apart from the will of God does not bring us happiness. And Solomon is a fine example of that. Money will not bring us happiness. Fame will not bring us happiness. Power will not bring us happiness. Accomplishment will not bring us happiness. Human wisdom will not bring us happiness. A life that is totally submitted and devoted to God, that in and of itself will bring us happiness. So it's really interesting. And like I said before, it just hits differently. And I hope and pray that you're joining us for this reading today as we read through the book of Ecclesiastes this week. The teacher, the wise teacher, Solomon. Although he had all of these things, once again, the one thing he did not have was happiness. This is Sonia McCullough Lockridge signing out. I hope and pray you have a blessed day in the Lord. Thank you. Tomorrow our reading finds us, I almost forgot, I'm so sorry. tomorrow our reading finds us finishing the book of Ecclesiastes and moving on to the short book of the Song of Songs. Song of Songs. That's it. Thank you. Have a blessed day in the Lord.